Remember that time they made a real-life FNAF location? Or when there were concepts for a real-life FNAF-themed dark ride? Or what about that time some guy blew up a church and blamed it on William Afton possessing him? Now, that last one didn't actually happen, but I bet you believed me for just 1 second. The point that I'm trying to make here is that this series is associated with some stupidly hilarious moments, which is bound to happen when your fan base consists mainly of children and people who are often outcasted from normal society. A bit ago, I made a video about the craziest moments relating to Five Nights at Freddy's in 2023, and seeing as people seem to enjoy that video, and these are easy for me to make,
because I edit them,
I've decided to officially make this a series on the channel, with this being the second installment. Today I've collected a total of 5 different moments and topics to talk about, and while I'm sure you already know of these situations, it'll still be fun to look back, and maybe we can help at least one person find out something new today. We'll even be touching up on the most recent explosion within the fan base regarding confirmation on the 10th anniversary game coming out later this year. A game that looks surprisingly gorgeous, I must say. As well as recent news regarding the AR installment of the franchise as well. So tighten up your Springlocks and get comfortable, because we're going to look at 5 more crazy-ass moments in Five Nights at Freddy's history. We'll be going over the most recent FNAF game reveal, iconic fake Freddy's locations, the sister location adult theory, a real-life Springlock suit created by a fan, and a recent development announcing the end of the, critically acclaimed Five Nights at Freddy's AR. I'm going to be starting off with the most recent thing to have happened on this list, as the others are a while back into the past. This massive reveal was actually pretty controversial in a way, not in the sense that it was offensive, but mainly because people were split on its credibility, and whether or not it was even real. Our story begins late at night on the 22nd, or around midnight on the 23rd in many time zones, when our good friend Scholastic, in charge of publishing the books, released a listing including movie highlights and a roadmap. This roadmap would confirm several books releasing in 2024, such as the updated Security Breach files, another coloring book, more graphic novels, and an interactive young adult novel. Pretty much only one of these titles was new news, being the interactive novel, but obviously such a big stir wouldn't occur just because of a few books. Well, if you look to the right of this image, text reads out games that came out last year, the Ruin DLC Help Wanted 2, and one more game, verbal confirmation of a new game set to release. The text reads out, Into the Pit, new game coming soon. I'm sure you know what Into the Pit is, but in case you don't care about the books, which is based, Into the Pit was the first ever installment in the Fazbear Fright series of books, being both its own singular story and the title of the collection. The story follows a boy who visits his local pizza place, which used to be a Freddy Fazbear's. He discovers that the ball pit has time-traveling capabilities and can transfer him back in time to when the location was active. In this alternate timeline, the boy witnesses the aftermath of Spring Bonnie luring and murdering children. There's more to the story, especially related to Spring Bonnie, which, I mean, hey, I'm not gonna complain. That was pretty much all the news we had on this. That is until a few hours later when an image started to surface on Reddit of a supposed advertisement showing up on Steam, showing Spring Bonnie in a coat of new paint. It was only ever one person posting these, and there were only 2 screenshots, exactly the same, shown off. So it's incredibly likely that these are fake. However, even if these screenshots were edited, a lot of people knew behind the scenes whether or not the image of Spring Bonnie was real. And in typical FNAF community fashion, it would only be a few hours before full confirmation surfaced. As it turns out, the Steam screenshots were absolutely fake, but the image contained in them was not. The image, and this snippet in particular, was thought to be AI originally because of certain inconsistencies on the right side of the artwork that appeared to be created by artificial intelligence. People were technically both correct and incorrect here, as the artwork itself is human created, but someone had used AI to crop out a portion of the image. This is the full image. You can see where the cropping was made to remove the logo. Someone had uncovered this image, used AI to crop it, and edited it to create a fake hoax. The complete artwork was something that multiple people had access to for a while, suggesting this game had been in the making for some time now. The image was originally on the website of the game's developers, Mega Cat Studios. Doing a quick Google search reveals that this game has a page on their website, however it is now privated and you cannot access it. This does tell us where people started to get these images from as well as information, as the studio didn't do a very good job of keeping it entirely secret. Well, as it turns out, there was a lot more on this website than just this single image. Several other images, descriptions, and even a video were uncovered. The video turned out to be a trailer of around a minute, showcasing some gameplay and cutscenes. And I know what you're all thinking. Yes, unfortunately they did use the Lady Fizzy designs. Heartbreaking, I know. But aside from that, let me just say that this art style fucking rocks! This is the best looking FNAF game, like, ever, I think, and looks far superior to the graphic novel adaptation of Into the Pit, even though the standards there are pretty low. Not even a few hours had passed before Big Boy Scotty came out with a statement informing fans that there was no reason to keep the game secret, and that it would be a 10th anniversary game. He also revealed that the game has been in the works for a while. It's good to see that this thing surfacing wasn't another disappointing disaster for Scott. There are like 4 different versions of this particular spring body image, by the way. I think this final fuzzy version is the definitive design, seeing as it's the only one officially posted by Megacat Studios themselves. I honestly don't know which one of these versions I prefer, so I'm curious to know what you guys think of these. This game being revealed may also be the reason that U2's revealed a Spring Body plush, which is absolutely amazing. I love you, Spring Buddy.
Hi, I'm Freddy Fazbear.
There are many things that this series is known for, but one of the most important staples of the FNAF fandom in the earlier days were all kinds of fake leaks, hoaxes, and internet mysteries relating to the franchise. Everything from fake characters like Purple Animatronic and Sparky the Dog, to fake images of real-life animatronics. I wouldn't have gotten nearly as much joy out of my earlier years if it weren't for the existence of these hoaxes. There are so many of these to talk about, but I specifically want to talk about all the hoaxes that were related to the real world, such as Freddy Fazbear's Pizza being real, animatronics being real, or TV ads and news broadcasts. Obviously, looking back at these now, these are so unbelievably fake, you likely wouldn't be able to fool anyone you were to show this to. But when these images started circulating around, a majority of the fan base consisted of actual children, and I'm sure most of you watching this were children at the time then, or even children now. I see you. So even though these have no illusion or effect on us now, it's still fun to look back. I like to think that images such as this Chuck E. Cheese or this Freddy Fazbear's Pizza are all their own crazy-ass moments in FNAF history, but for the sake of this section not being extremely short, I'm just gonna shove them all together into one big ol' Freddy Fazbear's Pizza pie. First of all, we have this iconic image. While never really claiming to be a real-life Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, this image is engraved into the eyeballs of anyone who's been a part of the community long enough. The image is a photoshopped version of Chuck E. Cheese popularized by MatPat for being commonly used within his FNAF theories. The reason I'm bringing this up is because me and my friends were looking at the location of this building and discovered that they remodeled it to look like absolute ass! I can't believe they would do this to such an iconic landmark. I mean, all of the Chuck E. Cheeses near me haven't even been remodeled. I don't know if it's just this area, or if they remodeled this one specifically because of the FNAF image. But either way, I will be outside this location with pitchfork in hand and an angry frown because this is unacceptable! This thing is the goddamn 8th wonder of the world, and I refuse to let it be disrespected in such a way. For those of you who are wondering, this Chuck E. Cheese is located in Avon, Indiana, outside of Malplot. This location is so commonly associated with Freddy Fazbear's in the community that it was used in the concept art for the Dark Ride, and was referenced in the goddamn Into the Pit pizzeria as well. It was also the basis for what is pretty much the most popular FNAF Gmod map ever. Man, if only there was a place I could go to learn more about that topic. Now let's take a look at what is probably the most popular of these fake locations, an image that instantly brings back pangs of nostalgia to anyone who views it. This right here is the real-life Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. At least I thought it was real until my poor dreams were crushed and shattered by Bill's channel!
Ooh.
This video is really fucking funny, by the way. I think everyone should go rewatch it if you haven't in a while. This man sends emails to random websites and distributors.
And I contacted the game's distributor, DeSera, to see if they knew anything. I don't even know what a mud volcano is.
Striker Entertainment lost several employees the day they received an inquiry from an adult man asking if Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was real. But that's besides the point. This image is obviously fake. It was edited from this image, the real location being known as Papa's Pizza Parlor in Coburg Road in Eugene, Oregon. Why this location specifically was chosen for the hoax is unknown, but there are many factors that may contribute to that. The reviews show customers eating rather mediocre-looking pizza and playing family games, something very fitting with what we knew then about Freddy's. The building has been repainted and given a new sign, but it's undoubtedly the same as the original, and this slight remodel is not nearly as disheartening as the Indiana Chuck E. Cheese massacre. Neither of these can compare to this next thing though, okay? Do you recognize this clip?
Hi, I'm Freddy Fazbear.
If you don't, allow me to enlighten you on one of the funniest FNAF hoaxes of my time. Posted in March of 2015, the YouTube channel Iron Horse Cinema created a fake advert from the 80s for Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. The video, titled Five Nights at Freddy's 1980s, Rare TV Spot Discovered. Despite the video obviously being a work of fan material, this title definitely led children to believe it's legitimate, even though I kind of doubt this creator knows much about FNAF itself. Let's have a watch. Starting off strong here, in this universe, Freddy Fazbear is just the fucking name of the owner, okay? Does that make this guy, like, William or Henry? I hope so. Dude, they got Splinks Freddy. Is that it looks like Splinks Freddy. This editing is actually amazing. I can see why so many kids thought this was real. This version of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza also uses the iconic Indiana Chuck E. Cheese and features like actual theme park rides inside. Like, no, that wouldn't fit in there, dude. And the rest is just like, I don't know, spooky fast forward footage, scary. Now, Iron Horse Cinema is also responsible for many other miscellaneous fan-made trailers, commercials, whatever. Most for FNAF and other similar games like Bendy, Tattletale, and critically acclaimed indie horror hit Hello Neighbor! A lot of these I actually haven't seen, and there's enough to talk about on this channel alone that I may just make an entire separate video on these, cause like, oh my god. Dude, they have the Freddy Fazbear's TV pizza advert on their professional filmmaking website. That's awesome. So yeah, let me know if you'd like to see that. I'd love to talk about the Hello Neighbor movie trailer, or this other iconic FNAF news report about the Fazbear's Frights location from FNAF 3 burning down, which appears to be slightly more informed.
I love Adult Theory.
Adult Theory was a sister location prediction / theory created by one Mr. Kane Carter Popgoes before the release of Sister Location. And if you don't know what this is, I'm sorry. Let me just read some of this Reddit post from the man himself. First of all, even though I will be calling it one for the sake of consistency, this is not a fully fledged theory because the game is not out yet. It is a prediction I have had ever since the first trailer came out. I have spoken with numerous people for help with evidence, and trust me, it's not some joke theory. I've kept it quiet on Reddit for a reason. I teased it somewhat today, and now people are insulting me left and right, someone even calling me sick, which is a bit far. So I'm going to try to clear this up a bit. As a disclaimer, in case you are young, this theory involves adult themes. I'm not going to be showing any nudity or sex, but I will be talking about things which may be inappropriate for very young readers. The sister location is either a restaurant with a hidden entrance to an adult-themed location, or the sister location is a nickname for an adult-themed location. Let me, first of all, talk about the building itself. The gameplay, from what we can gather, will take place underground. The introduction scene in the trailer is very clearly a platform which is moving down. No matter if you see it as an elevator or whatever, it is definitely moving underground as you can see the lights in the window moving upward. The phrase deep below ground is also stated in the trailer. The location has child themes through props such as posters, figurines, and party lights. However, it is not safe for children to roam around. There are exposed wires, shaking machinery, and floor-level ventilation shafts. Now, I'll talk about the characters. Maybe this will get my theory across. There is a female, little girl animatronic with pigtails and a red dress, called Baby. You don't call a character who can walk, talk, sing baby unless there is something else going on, in my opinion. Baby is a word used for either actual babies or it's used as a nickname for a lover. If you stop looking at the game face on, you should be able to agree with that. If you don't, then whatever. Ballora is a half-naked ballerina. She has very exposed breasts with merely a blue strip of plastic covering the top and front of them. I'm not making that up, and it's been a point of discussion for ages. She dances, moves up and down repetitively, keeps her eyes shut at all times, and has the standard makeup which we were pretty used to by now. Ballora does not exist to entertain children, from what I can tell. Ballerinas wear a lot more than that. Funtime Foxy and Funtime Freddy are not explicitly designed to be adult-themed, nor do they seem to do anything sexual. I won't deny that the name Funtime is dodgy, however. That's still something which seems off. The hand puppet and the lack of Funtime Foxy's hook is also worth mentioning, but other than that, they seem innocent. Now let me talk to you about the themes and hints we've been given. Don't hold it against us. You don't know what we've been through. Please stay in your seats. The show is about to begin. Deep below ground. Secrets don't keep. There's a little of me in every body. How are people not seeing the adult implications with these phrases? This is not subtle. This is very clearly talking about something more than a pizzeria. Why wouldn't Scott do worse? Why wouldn't he go there? Are you that naive to dismiss a theory with evidence because you don't think a game developer would mention something like this? They have speakers on their chest. There is a control panel to control robotics. We have just been given a timetable which has likely hinted that animatronics can be booked and privatized. This is more than just an animatronic strip club. I genuinely cannot tell if Kane Carter has gotten less or more insane throughout the years. Friendly reminder that the man who wrote this is now employed under Scott Cawthon. Good for him, good for him. This theory wasn't absurdly popular when it first came out, but a large amount of people started to actually consider it or even wholeheartedly believe it. Even looking back at the so-called evidence, I genuinely cannot fathom how anyone believed this held any merit. The voice lines being used as evidence in particular is so unbelievably funny to me. Like, what do you mean? I do agree with the statement that Ballora is definitely not a very child-friendly design. Like, I can't really imagine any kid connecting with this animatronic character in any way the way one would with, like, Freddy or Bonnie, but who knows, maybe I'm stupid. I also just personally hate the implications that people would, in any universe, find Circus Baby attractive. I know that for some reason a lot of freaks in the real world do, but if that was canonical, I think I would game in myself genuinely. Not only is she ugly as hell, but come on, this is a child. I don't care if this was before the game out. She looks like a child. She sounds like a child. I hate this! There are still some people who genuinely believe this to some extent, although they're rather rare to find. The sister location animatronics are probably the most mysterious ones, as we really don't know what they were primarily used for. I still just find this theory very outrageous and hard to believe, but it's not like it's the most outlandish theory the series has seen. At long last, we have created the Springlock suit from classic horror game Do Not Create the Springlock Suit. There are a few people who have imitated the classic Springlock suits from the games, something that seems horrifyingly stupid, but not to worry, almost all of these Springlock suits are purely aesthetic, and even if they fail, they cannot pierce skin or hurt you in more than applying a little bit of pressure. Take the Springlock mechanism from Smith Robotics, for example. Minimum damage is actually done here, as like I said, almost all of these recreations are relatively safe. Emphasis on almost all. Let me introduce you to Download Cont, or Downloadable Content, a content creator specializing in robotics and mechanics. In November of 2023, he posted a video asking a relatively simple question: are Springlocks dangerous? In this video, he aims to answer this question, and as we see in the video, regular Springlocks aren't really all that dangerous, especially if you aren't purposely trying to hurt anyone. But this didn't stop Download Cont from trying his damn hardest to create a Springlock that packs a punch. The original video is very well edited and interesting, so I am practically begging you to check it out yourself. This video saw massive success, now standing at almost 2 million views, and for good reason, so it makes sense that the man would develop a full suit over the course of the next few months, or at least a pretty successful attempt. I won't be going over the full process of how he made the suit just because of how wonderful the original video is. It's not a super long watch, and I cannot recommend it enough. Regardless, against all odds, an actual Springlock suit, or at least the closest thing we've gotten to one, was born, and Jesus Christ, this thing is horrifying. It can do some real damage against just plastic, so I don't want to know how this thing could hurt a real person. Download Cont, the creator of the Springlock suit, was kind enough to let me interview him about his creation. I'll go ahead and play that for you now, and make sure to go subscribe to him if you haven't already. Firstly, an obligatory question. What gave you the idea to recreate such a dangerous contraption? Did you ever intend to do anything with the actual suit other than just for show?
It all began with the first Springlock arm attachment. I was just genuinely curious about how dangerous they actually were, since I grew up knowing about FNAF and always heard that they would do so much damage. So one day I decided, hey, let's try this out, and the first video was made. I made both Springlock contraptions out of curiosity, and the Springlock suit as of now really doesn't have any other purpose than to just be really scary and dangerous. I also genuinely wanted to keep my promise to the community that I would try and build a suit.
Did you ever actually hurt yourself on accident during its creation? Past a few minor pressure marks, that is.
You know, I actually did get hurt a little at times. I was trying to pull back one of the Springlocks in the arm area, and the spring wasn't held back correctly because I pulled it wrong, and it caught the skin of my finger, and in the blink of an eye, my skin was gone. It wasn't too bad like showing my bones or anything, but it hurt. Then, when I was pulling back the bear trap part of the suit, it also wasn't held back correctly, so it accidentally went off, and it like almost got my finger. So I'm starting to see a little bit of a pattern here, kind of like I'm pulling them back wrong, so it gets dangerous.
So I suppose handling it was more dangerous than actually setting them off?
I feel like it's definitely dangerous both ways, because I forgot to mention before that my skin on my finger was caught because it went off. So I was putting my finger near the hole where the rod exit out from the Springlock, so that's how it caught my skin and then just went off instantly because that spring was wound up all the way. So it took my skin for free with no extra charge.
That's crazy. Robotics and engineering of the creative kind appear to be your specialty, at least according to your YouTube channel. How long have you been doing this kind of stuff? Is it more of a hobby or a profession?
So I always have been interested in engineering for a while, but I never really got into it until like 2 years ago. And right now it's definitely just a hobby. I don't really have a degree in it or anything. I don't really call myself an engineer, and more of some guy who just has too much time on his hands. I really do enjoy it though, and I really want to continue making projects for a long time.
Oh wow, you're very talented with what you do considering it's just a hobby. Are there any other contraptions from media that you find interesting? Not necessarily ones you plan on recreating, but fictional mechanisms that you think would be possible to exist and function in the real world?
Oh, thank you. And I really do believe like anyone could get into like building things, and that's a really good question. Like fictional media, I feel like sometimes can be possible. Like let's say Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. I think that's an awesome like example. Like I want to make a shield, and you can strap like a rocket to it, and then the shield just like flies away.
Wait, oh, you're so right. That'd be so cool. Did you ever expect your video to perform so well? Do you think you'll do any more similar projects as a result of this success?
Nope, no, like not at all. I had no idea that video would perform well. I thought it was gonna do bad, but because I made the channel just me having fun building things, and I'll continue to have it as me having fun building things that are either interesting or super dangerous. I think I'll definitely build a better Springlock suit one day. I don't 100% doubt that. And will it be right away? Most likely not, since I feel like I would like to gather more skills in the building field, and I do want to build a couple FNAF related inventions down the line, but they're not all gonna be right off the bat, like right away. But I really want to find one FNAF idea I think is like super interesting.
Do you have any ideas of possible FNAF related inventions?
I did have this really funny idea of the cupcake from the FNAF movie. Like it leaps at someone, not an actual human, and then the bear trap goes off, like when the cupcake bit part of the Springlock suit in the movie. A little small idea at the moment, but I don't really have too many huge FNAF ideas in my brain. I usually just focus on the goofy projects a lot right now. Something just funny.
Oh my gosh, that sounds like such a silly idea. I'd love that. And last but not least, the most important question. What's your favorite Fortnite skin?
Let's go! Okay, this is the best interview ever. Best interview right here. Peter Griffin is probably the most revolutionary skin they've added to the game. I think it's the best one right now, but I'm still hoping and praying every day that we get a young Sheldon bundle.
Once again, a massive thank you to DownloadCon for letting me talk with him. I'm very excited to see what more he brings to the table with his wacky inventions. The link to his channel will be in the description. Creating such a horrifying invention in the real world is more than worthy of having the title of a crazy-ass moment in FNAF history.
You can't hide!
The AR installment of Five Nights at Freddy's Special Delivery has been in the ground for practically 2 years now. Very few people like this game, mostly for its repetitive gameplay, disastrous in-app purchases, and horrid character design. Don't even get me started on the $20 DLC for this mobile game. Ruin was completely free, and Curse of Dreadbear was less than this. Well, some news has surfaced from the creators of the game on Reddit announcing its cancellation and the shutting down of its servers. Let's take a look. Hello all. This post is one we make with both full and heavy hearts after much consideration. Our team knows that it has been quite some time since we've posted, and we wanted to take this opportunity to say thank you, bring you all up to speed on FNAF AR as it draws to a close, and to also say goodbye for the time being. We'll be keeping the game online for the next 6 weeks for folks to enjoy, but we'll be sunsetting. After February 2nd, 2024, FNAF AR Special Delivery will no longer be available to download on the App Store or Google Play. We have massively increased rewards to allow you to experience everything you can in the final weeks before the servers shut down. We've also reduced prices, converted the Dark Circus DLC to a fast coin purchase, and given access to every lure we've ever released, so you can invite all your favorites over to play till the very end. On March 14th, 2024, the game servers will be shut down and FNAF AR will be officially offline. It's been fun! It has been such an unbelievably wild ride with this passionate, clever, and fun community. We've never been a huge studio, but we've always been huge fans of FNAF, and of course, you all. Having the opportunity to create Special Delivery has been a wonderful experience for our team. Being able to combine our know-how and passion for augmented reality with our love for FNAF has simply been an incredible adventure. FNAF AR has gone on a journey that we could have never predicted when we first launched the game. Special Delivery brought us many moments to treasure, from our tricky first posts on this very subreddit to people throwing their phones away in fear of charging animatronics. We've been assured that no phones were harmed in the process, to its becoming Apple's game of the day, to millions of animatronics battled, and so much more. But what we've always had the most fun doing is trying to figure out how to delight you all. We've loved creating puzzles and clues ahead of each new release for this community, and it was always exciting to see how you all would react to each update. It's been a privilege to craft AR experiences around each and every animatronic in Special Delivery, and we've enjoyed being able to bring them to life in so many ways with all the skins and events that we've dreamed up over the years. Letting us deliver these animatronics to you has been special indeed. Damn, those 999 years really flew by. Now, if you were able to shed a tear at this, or even feel the slightest bit of emotion, I envy you greatly. God, I wish I could mourn this loss, but unfortunately, I don't fucking care at all. Sad, I know, but this game has already been deader than dead for 2 years now, with nothing but radio silence from its creators and no updates whatsoever. I do kind of wish that they didn't shut the servers down and just like took out the online capability, but whatever. I don't think this is really affecting many people, as I haven't seen anyone too distraught about the death of Special Delivery. Scott seemed pretty sad, however, as he had this to say: Special Delivery will always hold a special place in my heart. It was really unique and has some of my favorite character art in the whole series. So just as a little note for the team at Illumix, you were all a pleasure to work with, and I wish you the very best for whatever the future brings. You've got a talented team, thank you for investing that time and talent into FNAF. I would really like to know the favorite character art in the whole series he's referring to here. I'm only going to assume it's Ringmaster Foxy Burger. In his defense though, there really isn't much competition unless like Lady Fizzy or Pinky Pills made anything unbelievably remarkable that I didn't know about. To give my own farewell, I've created a tier list of all the amazing character designs in the game. At the top, we have all the classics, as well as Firework Freddy, Liberty Chica, and Blue Withered Toy Chica, all truly remarkable in their own rights. In A tier, we have the Toys, Endo, and 8-Bit Baby. And then there's everything below that. C and D are just ones I don't really care for, while E and F are absolute dog water. And there we go, my final send-off to this game. Now I just need to go put up all the Special Delivery posters Spring sent me. So long, Special Delivery, we won't miss you. And there we have it, 5 more crazy-ass moments in Five Nights at Freddy's history. It's always so much fun looking back and looking forward at all things related to this franchise I've grown to love and hate so dearly. Thank you, Freddy Fazbear, for giving me many others a childhood to remember. Let me know how you found this video, as I'm always more than willing to talk about even more hilarious moments related to Yellow Bear Vengeful Stare. And, sorry if my voice sounded weird in this one, I have COVID, so yay. As always, thank you so much to all my Quinn fans over at Patreon, especially Gvin2008, Cinetic, DCT113, Loose the Goose, Rube72, Talkbox PNG, Maxwell Fusion, The Blue Guy, Dags, Spammy, and Floofy Banjo. I've been Freddy Fazbear, and welcome to Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. Bye bye!